What's happening, friends, and welcome to another episode of Thursday Night Theory. Last week we talked about the major scale. We got started with one octave on that. And this week we're going to follow that up with the minor scale, or more accurately, the natural minor scale. So let's just get right to it. Let's do this one in A. So we're going to do that starting at the 5th fret. First, let's just learn the first octave of the scale. Go to the 6th string, 5th fret, and that's our root note, A. Now, we're going to go the 7th, then the 8th, then do those same frets on the 5th string. 5th, 7th, 8th, and then on the 4th string, we're going to use the 5th and then the 7th fret. And that's one octave. If you listen to this A and that A, we have one octave. Okay? So I'm sure you can already tell that the sound of this scale is a bit darker, a little more melancholy, if you will. It just has a bit of a more, maybe a more emotional tone than the major scale. Let's just recap that major scale real quick. We had, if we did it in A, and hopefully by this week you know it well enough to do it in various places, but if we did it in A, here are the notes. Okay, compare that to the minor scale. So you can already hear there's an obvious difference. And what we want to do is dig in and figure out what makes that difference in sound. What are we doing differently in the minor scale than we are in the major scale? So to break that down, let's look at the intervals again. Now if we break this down in linear form, for the major we had whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now for the minor it's just going to be root note, then whole, half, whole, half, whole. We may see that a little easier in linear form. Let's do that on the open A string, which would be your 5th string. These are the same pitches we just had. We're just, instead of starting on the A on the 6th string, we're starting on the A on the 5th string, which just happens to be open. Now this should bring us to the 12th fret. Let's check it out. Root note, whole, half, whole, half, whole. So that's the sound of the minor scale. Now let's look at the intervals this time. And to better understand these intervals, we said last week that the major scale was the mother of all scales. And that's because everything is compared to that major scale. So if we look at the intervals in the minor scale, let's run it one more time in A. Okay, if we look at the intervals, we have, of course, the root note, the 2nd, and here's the 3rd. But we don't just say 3rd, we have to say minor 3rd, because a 3rd, or a major 3rd, is here. Okay? If we don't specify minor, it is insinuated that it's major. So we have to say minor. So root, 2nd, minor 3rd, 4th. The 4th is the same in major or minor. The 5th is the same in major or minor. Now here's the 6th. Now again, in the major scale, the 6th was here. So that's a major 6th or 6th. Drop that a half step, that becomes a minor 6th. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7th. And again, when we had the major scale, the 7th was here. We drop that to here. That's a minor 7th. And then finally, an octave doesn't change. So what did we do differently? We lowered the 3rd, we lowered the 6th, and we lowered the 7th. We made each of those intervals minor. The 4th and the 5th stay, the octave stays, and even the 2nd stays. So, root note, 2nd, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 6th, minor 7th, octave. So let's just demonstrate the difference in the sound and how that the minor scale conveys a completely different attitude or a vibe, so to speak. So let's take a song like Another Brick in the Wall, okay? We have education. That's just the first 3 notes in the minor scale. But what if we take that minor 3rd and change it to a major 3rd? Completely changes the attitude of the song. Education. Just takes the bite right out of it compared to So another one might be Kryptonite. If you're a 90s kid, you might remember. Well, when it comes to the guitar solo, we do in linear. We're going to move it up to B now. So here's B. Alright, but if we look at that linear. Oops. Okay, but we don't have to go that far. We're just going to use like the first 4 or 5 notes. So. Okay, and you might notice I went down below the root note. That's okay, because as we go up these octaves, that next B, isn't this note part of the scale too? That's below the octave, so theoretically as we go down here, that's still part of the scale, but it would be the next octave down. Okay, so that solo again in linear form. So what if we change that to major? Let's change that 3rd to a major 3rd. Let's see how it affects the sound. Yeah, it doesn't work, right? It's got to be that minor. So you can hear the difference. Now let's go the other way. Let's take some songs that are originally in a major key and put them in a minor key. An easy one, Lean on Me. We're going to do this in G. So G major is. Okay, now let's turn that to minor. Yeah, so that changes the mood completely. Yeah, it turns it into like a hard rock song if you do that. So try to think of some songs that are in minor key and put them in the comments. Tons of rock songs are in the minor key just because it just has so much more attitude than the major key. but a lot of them are pentatonic, so some of the notes are missing, so the attitude isn't quite as thick. For now, let's just do a couple more major and minor and just pull a switcheroo on them. It's Christmas season, or it's starting to be Christmas season, so let's do God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Listen to this. Let's turn that into major, and all we got to do is raise this minor third to a major third, and this minor seventh to a major seventh. It's kind of funny when you listen to it like that. Let's do Mama, I'm Coming Home. And if you want to check out how to play Mama, I'm Coming Home, there's a link right there you can go to. So what I do is descend down the major scale while simultaneously getting these two open strings. That's kind of a condensed version. I don't quite do it straight down that sixth string. But now let's do that in minor, see what happens. Completely different song. Last one, Wasted Years, Iron Maiden. We use the minor scale in linear form. But now let's turn that into major. What we have to do is take the sixth, raise it there. Have to take the third, raise it there. Let's listen. Okay, I like the minor better. All right, so that's your Thursday Night Theory for this Thursday, and make sure you stay tuned for future episodes, and we're going to keep expanding on this stuff and keep feeding your mind with all these tools that you can use in your own creativity. So thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Leave me some notes in the comments, and we'll see you next week.